Well, welcome back. Shed Happens 5. There's going to be a reason why I have this. You'll have to watch to the end of why we started this way. Second thing, I am not a doctor. I don't portray one on TV or on YouTube, but I'm in the health profession. Anything I say or do can be held against... that's a whole nother thing. That was last night. Anything I say or do or suggest or anything else, I'm not held accountable. I'm just explaining my story. So this is the beginning. Let's do this. I mean, come on. Look, I'll come back to that. Let's grab this. Doesn't matter. It's a Muzang ceramic pipe. Here, there you go. Oh shoot, I dropped some tobacco here. Sorry. Can't have anything on that clean floor. But it's a Muzang ceramic pipe with Sunrise something from Sutliff. You're not going to be able to find it, but it's got some Latakia in it. But let's go out to the shed. Let's grab one of these. And these. Oh, see? Bought that. Gimgagi, everybody. In case you don't know, shade tree, Gimgagi is good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So I would consider this a VR, a virtual response. You might not know, but in the YTPC, the YouTube pipe community, people ask questions and then they make a virtual response with a video. And this is one of those. And look at that, look at that. I have cleaned this out and able to make videos inside my shed again. I'll be right back, hold on. Yep, brought notes. Keys. I'll put those in my pocket so I don't forget them. Water. Got a pipe. Let's turn on the light. And I think that's going to work all right. Let's go there. Let's hopefully it. Char light. In case shade tree you haven't smoked a tobacco pipe. You kind of toast it on the top, smush it down so when you hit it with the big flame, it doesn't explode out of your pipe. We'll see how this works. Might have to light it a couple times. Let's go ahead and... I had notes. I watched a video of yours last night, and you had made one 2 weeks ago of back pain, and I read somebody said that it was sciatica, and you never know. You never know. I mean, you know it's sciatica, but what's causing it? So, to give you the background on me, 3.5 years ago, my audience is going to hate this because they've probably heard it like 10, 15 times. I was a physical therapist assistant that was working with a severely obese patient, a female geriatric, 320 pounds. So, worked with her many times. Unfortunately, she had a loss of balance, and I herniated my L3 with a severe impingement. At that point in time, I was okay. I even worked for another 5 days. So the next Thursday, I was 2 o'clock in the morning, woke up to take a piss, and that's when it busted. and I could not put weight on my left leg. Didn't really know that that's what happened. I didn't know that I herniated the week before, but I had obviously busted the disc between L3 and L4, and I finally busted its cherry when I lifted up the toilet seat at 2 a.m. and I had lightning strike from the back of my neck down to the back of my left heel, and it was traumatizing. Had to go to the emergency room, had to get an ambulance. By the way, they're very expensive, $550 to take a ambulance. So if you can get driven there and you're safe enough to do it, I would highly suggest that. But not you, Shade Tree, I'm talking about everybody else. It's nerve. It was an impingement on my nerve, which then created problems in my left leg. I lost 50% strength in that left leg, and I was very unstable. The most horrific thing that ever happened in my entire life. So it took 4 months to get surgery done, which was a microdiscectomy of L3, and there was other words on there, but I don't remember them. I could have looked it up before this video, but it was at that point where no pain pills, no nothing was helping out. So I started to drink heavily, and I was taking ibuprofen heavily, like 800 milligrams every 4 to 6 hours. I was having a friend deliver a handle of vodka and a handle of a whiskey, and I was drinking quite a few drinks every single day. Anyways, became very, I was self-medicating because medications that they'd give you just make you fall asleep, but wouldn't get rid of the pain. So the vodka and the whiskey did get rid of that pain. So it's been 3.5 years, and I'm still complaining about it because I still haven't regained full strength in my left leg. I would probably tell you I'm running about 70%. I used to be like a 30 mile a week runner. I'd wake up, go for a 4.5 mile jog every day, pretty much 5 to 6 days a week. So running 30 miles a week and going out to my beach and walking and kayaking, and I was very active. Now, at that point when I got the injury, it went to nothing. I was walking with a walker inside my house. And this might not fully relate to what you're dealing with, but I want to get it out to something that has come into my life in the last 3 weeks. And I made a video, I probably made 4 videos now of where I've transitioned my life. I was a vegetarian for 38 years, and now I'm eating meat. But through that transition of turning into somebody that ate meat, I went full hog on, pun intended, to a meat diet, and I'm trying everything. I had yesterday morning corned beef and eggs because I can't have the hash, and I'll explain that a little bit later. But I'm just trying to get out to you, knowing the weight difficulty that you're dealing with. I've been obese 3 times. I got obese with both marriages. The first one, I ate myself fat. Second one, I drank myself fat. And then I got fat again, pretty much drinking and eating, was the injury. So if you go back, I got bamboozled by my doctor to take pills that were meat driven, animal driven. So I started to eat meat, and I went a deep dive into a diet that I didn't know what the outcome was, but I saw enough of the issues that I would think that this is going to help my pre-diabetes, as they've been telling me for 30 years. They told me my cholesterol's horrible, and I needed to get those in check. And so I found the keto diet. I'm going to go back a little bit. I couldn't ride a motorcycle, which I was 99.9% motorcyclist, and for 3 years. And I couldn't run, still can't run. And I too had to stretch every single morning. I had a urinal next to the bed because I couldn't get up and walk to the bathroom in the middle of the night, or even in the morning. I would literally have to stretch. And I made videos. I didn't have a channel back then, but I would film myself and state where I was at just to make a mental note and verbally say it out loud about where I was at, what I was capable of doing, in the small progression. When I got the surgery, I was again continuing to walk with a front wheel walker, and progressed to, I have a 6-foot cane. I would walk outside once, go back in. I was able to do 3 stairs. I'm not going to sit here and tell you the whole progress, but we're now here at 3.5 years. I went from a 6, 7, sometimes I wanted to go to an 8 pain, which to me is 8 is I'm crying, 7 is I'm almost crying, a 5 and a 6 is you can't think about anything else but the injury. A 3 and 4 is there's a kind of a constant reminder, but you can do other things. And then a 1 and a 2 is, it occasionally reminds you throughout your day multiple times that, you have a sore thumb or you got a sore back. So jumping ahead now to today, being 3.5 years later, well, I'm going to go back again. Last year, I went into the hospital with an intestinal infection. And I stopped ibuprofen right then and there, and I was still heavily medicating myself with ibuprofen and still remaining on drinking, but not as heavily as it was when I first got injured. So when I went in for the intestinal infection to the hospital, I cut out all ibuprofen and all medications, and I wanted to stop all that. I didn't like taking pills to medicate. I dealt with a 5-6 pain pretty much all the time, where I'm going to say it was a 4 pain because I was able to concentrate on other things, but it was multiple times during the day I just had to lay down on my back to make it go away. You are not having that. You're having pain like I did in the beginning, was laying down, sitting and editing videos. It just was extremely painful. Standing became very agitated. You're just never comfortable. So I've been where you're at. Reading notes, sorry. So if you go back to the video the last Shed Happens 4, I did a 3-day, 82-hour fast. And during that 82 hours, I did a deep dive into keto. I was looking at all diets, but I really came down to the one. There was enough information that I thought made sense that I wanted to give it a shot. Well, I have blood work in 6 months that I have to do. And then if the blood work lowers my cholesterol and reduce weight and I have less pain, then I'm going to continue it for another year and get test results again through the blood. But we'll find out about the cholesterol and the pre-diabetic numbers. The big one is the back pain. In a week, I lost about 10 pounds. It was 8 pounds, but quickly every day I was losing some weight. And I went from around 214 pounds down to 102 in 2 weeks. I've lost it. I'm down to 200 pounds even currently right now. And it's the end of the 3rd week. Yesterday was the end of the 3rd week. So what I have noticed is I've had less pain. And that is because cutting out carbohydrates out of your diet down to 20, I believe it's grams, 20 grams of carbohydrates a day. And you start looking at things in your house going like, oh, the granola bar, which I made my own. You look at your peanut butter. You look at, yesterday I looked up, I have a calzone in my freezer. 56 carbs in that one item. So obviously you'd have to cut that into thirds, and then you can't have any carbs for the rest of the day. The strawberry 10-calorie drink, you buy it in a liter from Aldi's, has 3 carbs if you drink the whole thing. And you're like, okay. Guess what? Water doesn't have any carbs. You start looking at all the food you eat that have carbohydrates, and what the problem is carbs get broken down in your body with insulin. Well, I have a high insulin count, which makes me that pre-diabetic. So reducing the amount of carbs gives the insulin no reason to be in your system. And it's not an overnight thing. Like, stop eating carbs one day doesn't do anything to your insulin. It's months, sometimes years, depending on how bad your health issues are. So, and by the time you are bad and you have other health issues, then you are just looking at years, and it's a commitment that you have to sit there and go, can I reverse these chronic issues that you might have? So, losing the weight, finding out that you or I reduced the fluids in my body has made me more energetic. Getting out, I've waxed my vehicle, I am doing more videos lately. I am up at the crack of dawn, usually at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. That's because I also have a very poor sleeping. I'm hoping that's going to get better with eating less carbs. But the big one there is looking at beer. Even the ultralight Michelob has like 2.5 carbs. You drink 5 of those, you're, and that means, you're not going to be able to have any other foods. Broccoli and cauliflower have carbs, so those are the things you waste your carbs on, is eat the healthier items. You're not going to eat bananas anymore. You're not going to eat apples anymore. You're not going to eat things that are going to spike your insulin levels. So your insulin comes from your pancreas. I'm not going to get too medical into it, because even since my last video, I've done even more research and I can explain it even better. And I'm noticing things in my body and how I feel. My speaking cadence has majorly increased over the last 3 weeks, and my mental stability, mental clarity is on, I'm focused. I'm a little ADD, but I'm good at coming back around and finishing projects. The other part of that is, so mental clarity, it also has decreased my pain from, I'm living most days in the last week and a half, let's say 10 days, with a 3. out of 10 pain, which means it reminds me multiple times a day, but I'm able to continue to do the things I want to do in a less pain feeling at the moment while I'm doing stuff. Able to get up and down. Now, evening time, the pain does come back. I will elevate into that 4, sometimes 5, but I'm not getting to those 6s anymore. I did the waxing of the van. That was a lot of up and down ladders and a lot of getting on the ground and cleaning everything and a lot of bending, a lot of reaching, a lot of everything. That was kind of giving me the pain, and I was done after, I think it was 4 hours. And then I smoked a cigar and kind of relaxed out of that, and I slept kind of well that night. But the big thing was the pain. And again, I probably should go back and watch, I guess, a video you made 2 months ago that discussed your exact issues. But I'm going to go, it might all have to do with what you're putting in your mouth. That's at least what I've come up with for me. It's worth a look-see. And I, of course, got to the end of my rope. I got up to my head, and I'm tired of this. And I have majorly decreased in alcohol intake. Now, I will give you a hint. Whiskey, non-flavored whiskey, has no carbs. But that doesn't mean that you get to drink whiskey now and that's your new drug of choice. The reason is how your body burns fuel, and it's going to burn your alcohol first. So if you have 6 of those at 100 calories a piece, your body's got to burn all that. And even if you made the right decisions on your food, you're going to have a problem, because now you drank up until noon. Your body finally got to get to the meals you ate, and 3 hours later you're going to sleep or whatever. Now your body's having to work to digest the food and start working on that energy, and then you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning wondering why. Is because your body didn't get to rest. So there's parts of this keto diet that I'm trying to be firm on, of like, don't eat 3 hours before you sleep. That's a big one. Reducing the carbs, eating the fat, and eating proteins. It's just been a world of difference. And again, I'm one person. And I was healthy-ish, and I shouldn't say I was healthy. I was noticing when I ate or drank the next day, like ate poorly, I was bloated the next day. And I was just like, oh, well, that was a liver issue. And you start going, like, I lived like that for 30 years. You just bloated after your diet of what you were eating. So maybe the pre-diabetic for 30 years, I've done a lot of damage. I can still feel it at the end of the day of there's a little bit of bloat, but nowhere close to what I was. Anyways, I just hope that you might give it a shot. Give it a month. Just give 1 month to go like, hey, I'm going to reduce alcohol majorly, change what you're doing. Don't eat the Pop-Tarts. Don't eat the fruits. Be careful with what you put in your mouth. Even nuts have carbs. You all of a sudden realize how many carbs you were eating. You thought you were eating nuts and apples and bananas and somewhat eating a healthy diet, maybe having oatmeal for breakfast, whatever. Starving yourself is a good thing, but medically you need to watch out. Like, oh, I didn't eat anything except for one meal. Well, you ate that at 9 o'clock. And then understand what your body has to go through in the overnight hours of breaking down that food, and what did you eat, and how does the body break down stuff. Learning how the body works does help you make better decisions with what you eat. I feel like I'm cheating right now because, man, I'm getting up and I'm using real butter and having 3 over easy eggs and what did I have yesterday that I just told you? What's the meat in the can for breakfast? Corned beef. That has 0 carbs. You put the mash in there, the potatoes, you're going to have a lot of carbs. The eye deserve their calzone. Well, what you're trying to do is put your body in ketosis, and that might take a while, depending on what your body system has been regulating at for how long. I just keep beating probably the exact same drum, but more and more things, I just keep bringing up that. So, I want to enter in a whole nother thing for you, is that, and I'd rather do it someplace else. So I'm going to take it away from the shed happens, because, shed happens in life, and this is where the shed happens. Because I'm in the shed, but lately I've been doing it outside the shed or out on the beach, or I want to bring you someplace. Let me introduce you to Joan Holloway. If you don't know who Joan Holloway is, Mad Men. And you'll understand why I called her this. Hold on one second. Yep, Charlize owns one of these. I went out and bought one. Let me tell you, I freaking love it. 135 miles a tank. Cost me exactly $4,000. It was a leftover. It's a 2022. She's getting up there though. I think I just bought it a year ago. Actually, her birthday to me was last month. So let me suit up and we'll get on the bike and let me take you somewhere. All right. Good morning, Joan. Look at those beautiful things. I don't have a talking point for this, so this might be where I just hit speed up right now. So I'm a little bit shocked by you, Shade Tree, that you are able to have a full conversation, staying on point and cutting your video to the T of what you're trying to get across. Me, I get on it, I go, okay. Until I get on a highway where my brain can just get turned off, do I start really talking, unless if I really have a talking point that I need to get out. Ooh, look at that old vet. I'm gonna say a 79. Let's go over here and park next to the vet. Oh, the guy's in it, so I can even see what year it is. All right, just think about it in your head. What year do you think that vet is? Let's see if he'll answer to me. I'm not going to record you, but what year is it? What year is your vet? 80. I was off by 1 year. I'm not going to record you, that's why. I was just saying. I saw it before I pulled in, man. Beautiful car.
Why do you need to record?
No. I'm making a video for YouTube. You ever heard of Shade Tree Surgeon? No? All right. Not into motorcycles. All right. Thanks, man. 1980. My dad owned a 70, I believe, 5.
They're beautiful vehicles. So let me get this helmet off and I'll come right back at you. Yeah, well, guess what? I can talk to almost anybody, but obviously not everybody can talk to almost anybody. So obviously he misheard me saying that I wasn't gonna record him. He said, why are you gonna report me? And until he started up his vehicle and took off, I just realized that, you know, he misheard it. So, hey people, you know why the young don't wanna fucking talk to people? Cause fucking people are creepy. And I'm not, I might be creepy, but I'm also going, fuck. The guy was old enough to, you know, fucking have friends, but guess not. He's only friends with who he's friends with. I don't know where the fuck he went, but I'm just gonna keep watching my shit, because he's the kind of guy that would probably be an asshole that would fuck up my stuff just because. So anyways, let's take a look at where I'm at. So there used to be a Suds and Soap, which was, you know, basically you do your laundry over here on this concrete pad. They tore that down. They're trying to, they supposedly spent over $1 million here in this thing, but I see the best $1 million that they spent. Look, check these out. You know, somebody's homeless, they can rock themselves to sleep on here. So I'm gonna guess there's probably you know, feces and urine and everything else on these wood planks. And I don't think they're not real wood. They're actually that PVC stuff, which only fucking burn up when it's 90-something degrees out here every single summer. Anyways, I think, if I remember straight, and I don't know if the wind is getting you, but I'm gonna try to duck you down behind me. They built a pier, and I think that's where the kind of $1 million spending came, and it was a short pier and they had a problem with it, so they had to tear it down, and they've not returned back the city because I think whoever designed it or whatever problem that they had, they effed up. Shade Tree, I've been watching your channel for many years, many meaning probably like 3.5, and always enjoy watching, enjoy seeing what you got going on in your garage. You know, I'm not going to tell everybody to go watch you, because, you know, I have like 274 subscribers. After I post this one, I'll probably have 271 subscribers, because it seems to be that I keep going down every new video I post. I don't know, who knows. I'm not going to try to make sense out of it, but I just want you to go. I couldn't do this 3.5 years ago. I couldn't come here. I couldn't ride a motorcycle. I couldn't do all those things. And God, I've been feeling so good. So when I come here, and first time I've ever swung on this swing. Is that correct English? Doesn't matter. Hopefully you understand. You meaning people watching this. Shade Tree understands. Go over there and watch him. He's fun. He does boat things, he does fishing things, he does motorcycle things. He even talks about farts, you know. Good channel. If that's not your thing, don't go watch, but he's completely entertaining. What I would say, wink wink, hint hint, nod nod, Shade Tree, I would do a deeper dive in your Sessions product, and see if that doesn't help. Now it could increase inflammation, so that, you know, then you go, well, what the fuck, Blake, what vice do I have? I go, well, hobbies, more hobbies and more hobbies. You already do a lot of hobbies, but if you're feeling better, you might be able to do more hobbying of your own hobbies, because I don't need another hobby. I have way too many. You know, maybe pick up Dungeons and Dragons, maybe miniature paint, or, you know, I keep trying to say that as a great individual alone hobby, but motorcycling is an alone hobby for me. So what a bigger hobby is right now is eating, and that's a full-time hobby. It is taking up, you know, people that have that bang 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 exhaust, that's not good for your motor. You're not cool. Just FYI, if anybody has a bang 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 kind of car, they think they look cool, but I keep going like that's a backfire. And anyways, ask Shaytree. He might be able to explain why I think that that's a bad thing. Yeah, I'm just trying to help you out, brother. I don't know, maybe that works on street racing. I don't know. Maybe that's a higher performance. Maybe that's just a higher, I don't know. I don't race. I haven't picked that up as a hobby, nor do I have the money for that. So anyways, I literally have spent the last hour, probably an hour yesterday, trying to write this all down, to come up with something as a VR to you. You might not think about it today, but maybe in a year, maybe when, who knows? I mean, it took me a huge divorce and want to take a long-term solution to a short-term problem, that I changed everything around, but I had to hit rock bottom, you know, and I hit rock bottom a month ago, and when I got bamboozled by the doctor and started to eat bovine gelatin, I felt like, yeah, this is the time to start eating meat. And then eating meat turned me into, let's try keto. And you know, all of a sudden it's like, well, I still want to live life, so I'm still going to go to the bar. And that's where I did the research of going like, all right, well, I will do an 18 or 22 hour fast, or don't put anything in my body except for water, and I'll have 3, you know, whiskey and Diet Cokes. So anyways, you know, fuck, drink Diet Coke, you know, that'll bloat you up, but at least it's not, you know, alcohol, and it's also not carbohydrates. So you know what, let's get back on the bike and go home. Man, I was gonna have a cigar while I was here, but I think the Corvette guy got me a little bit weirded out, going like, come on, dude. Again, it's not just the Gen Zs and the millennials that are all messed up. Hell, we have some confusing Gen X and some fucked up boomers watching. So Shaytree, again, I'm gonna cut this up, make a video for you, hopefully post it today. Sorry. See what I can get out of this, and hopefully you'll see it. I don't know how to get it to you directly, so I'm just gonna pray and hope that somebody might see this and send it on over to you, or you're gonna find it on your own. Just some medical issues, and I'm going to say a lot of medical issues, are contributed to the crap we put in our mouth. And at 53 years old, I don't look back and think that I wasted anything, but we ain't getting any younger, and I hate to use that because that's, you know, so posh of people to say. I go, well, fuck it, I had a great life, I had a lot of fun, you know, and we'll see how it all turns out in 6 months with blood work, see how it turns out in a year and a half, because, you know, 6 months and then I'll go another year doing the diet, and we'll see what happens. You know, it just can't, you know, I've seen a lot of old people, geriatric. And it's not pretty when you get old. You know, I only see the problems. And I hope that a lot of people just pass away in their sleep, because, I mean, isn't that what we all want? Don't have to suffer, don't have to do anything. You just go to sleep and have a heart attack, or, you know, my other dream would be to have some hot chick bobbing up and down, and that's it. Done. You know, no issues. No. Traumatic for her, but sorry, I made myself laugh. And for the favorite part of the video, embrace that suck, shade tree surgeon. I believe your name is Josh. I am horrible with names, so you're in my head as shade tree surgeon. And I would actually, if I ever came to a camp out, I would call you shade tree. I put the name of my channel with my first name, so, you know, anybody that has word finding issues or name problems, it's pretty easy. Used to be a lover of you, and you know, that L-O, what is it, lover of Y. So some people were asking me, Loy, is that your real name? I'm like, no, just lover of you. Anyways, embrace the suck. There's a lot of shit when you take out carbs out of your diet. Yeah, no, it sucks. For about 7 days. After 10, I stopped craving carbs. I did crave that I wanted a drink, but you know, it's just how life is. And you go, okay, well, I can have more fun when I get back into fixing the issues that I have. And I'm willing to just challenge you, give 30 days a try, do a little deep dive in your spare time when you're hurting into keto, and I'm just telling you, just reduce all the things that the government subsidizes. You know, the flour and the sugar and all the crap that we keep putting in our bodies. You know, stop the corn, it doesn't do anything. It looks just like it did when it went in, it goes out. So you'll find other things. You know, you'll be having what I have, a pork chop a couple days ago. Shit, I could keep on talking, and that's what this has done. I mean, I could talk anyways, but shade tree, good luck. Hopefully maybe something of this resonates in you, whatever. You understand that you know, might, if you don't feel better in 30 days, and then you go back to what you're doing. All right, peace, brother. Bye. Oh, so to follow up of why I started the video I did, this is how energetic you get, shade tree, is I've lived here for almost 5.5 years or so, or over 5 years. I'm on my 6th year living here, and I never cleaned my kitchen floor. It never looked dirty, so I just never cleaned it. And then yesterday I was going through my cabinet and found borax, and I bought a thing, and I was like, you know, I should probably use that. That was probably like 6 months ago, but I looked at it yesterday, and look at that floor. Look at it. Now you I don't know. Now see, some of those are just nicks in the floor. I can't do anything about it, but I am I can't ever walk in here and not go like, damn, that floor looks good. That's how energetic. I also did my tub. Tub had been scrubbed a couple times, but never as good as it was that I did with borax. So buy borax. It's cheap. It's like 20 mules, I think it's called. Anyways, I'm just giving you a hint. You want a, you know, a review on something. 20 mule borax. Freaking phenomenal as a cleaning product.